ready to skin it, so we're going to go ahead and, always reset your mesh before you skin or do anything major. And drop down the modifier list and put your regular modifiers on it. First you put your smooth on it, set it to a 2, then drop down and get your skin wrap on it. So I go to skin wrap. And I'm going to skin wrap it to the feet, even though we're going to delete the feet. So I'm going to select add, and I'm going to select the feet. It takes a moment because my boots are a fairly complex mesh. Alright, now it's done. And I select convert to skin. Now I can go ahead and just delete this, select my skin, and throw a BS dismember skin modifier. You want to zoom out, make sure you have them all selected, and set it to Skyrim feet. In some of your cases, it'll be Skyrim feet L/R, alright, and that's what you'd set it to. So it'd be Skyrim, feet, space L/R would be your option in here. Mine's just Skyrim feet for my version of Niscope. So now that's all done, we're ready to go ahead and export this, but we don't want to export the feet with it because that wouldn't look right. So we have to go ahead and just select on create to get off of that BS dismember, and then select those feet and just go ahead and just delete them. We don't need them in the scene anymore. Whoops, I still had this in here, so I need to delete those. Those are from my armor from the previous video. And now I'm ready to export, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go up here, go to 3ds symbol, select export. I'm going to set it to a NIF. I'm going to drop down from my modifier list, go to our UMP custom armors, data, meshes, armor, Daedric. I'm going to save mine in test 5 because that's where I'm already working. Now, I don't want to save it over my torso, and I forgot to get the name in here, so just save it as boots for now. So just boots. Alright, and then just click save. And now we don't want to weld the vertices, so make sure you deselect that and click export. Give it a moment. Now let's go ahead and minimize real fast and let's get that name set up correctly. So I'm going to go into my Skyrim mesh folder, and we need to get those Daedric boots so we can test it in game using the Daedric boots armor. So I go into Skyrim mesh, meshes, armor, Daedric. And now I gotta find the Daedric boots. It's Daedric boots F_0. Just grab the, we don't need the other one, just Control C on that, on Daedric boots F_0. Then we're gonna go into our UMP custom armors folder. Drag it over, go to data, meshes, armor, Daedric, and just save it right here with our other bases and hit Control V. Now we're gonna take these boots, right click on them, click rename, then hit Control C to copy that name, and then go into where you saved your boots. Right click them, rename them, and hit Control V to get the right name for them. We can close that and open up our Daedric shortcut. Actually, we're not ready. We still have to set up the textures, which you guys already know how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and texture mine, and I'll see you in game. Now all you got to do to set up the textures is no different than you did the textures for the armor. You just delete the NI material property that's probably on it. Like if I were to open this and look at the boots, I got the boots right here. I would just delete that and then add a BS dismember skin modifier. You can add the same BS dismember skin modifier that you've been using for the armor. Remember we got that from cloth, or I can just open up my Daedric torso, move this over, and I can snatch the BS dismember from the other armor piece. So just select the armor, drop it down, hit Control C on that, then come over here, let me delete this first, and hit Control V. And then set this to this NI shape, so it's 12. So I just drop this down, and I'll go to my properties, and I'd set that to 12 and press enter. Now it has something that I can put the textures on when I create them. So now just go ahead and create your textures, then assign your textures, and I'll see you guys in game here in a bit. Alright, here we are in game, and as you can see, I've already pulled my Daedric boots out of the case, as I already put them inside the game engine. And let me hit tilde and type TFC so you can get a better look at them. I'm going to zoom in on them. You know, naturally I text them, and SUCSM space 2 so I can move my camera a little slower, you know, and kind of get a good view on them. And you want to just go around your boots, and you can hit Control to make your character crouch as you scope out to see if there's any errors. These boots actually turned out pretty good. Now, I was looking at my armor, and I'll probably add something else to these boots. Like I'll probably take them further up the leg by adding a cylinder or something above them. I was thinking some kind of leather. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. You'll have to get your armor, get your boots in game, look at them. And also, if you're having issues with texturing, like you put your boots in game and or after you make your boots, you're having a really hard time with texturing them because they're stretching or something, or you extruded parts of the mesh, and you might want to Google and check out some unwrap UVW tutorials, because I haven't really gotten into that more. We're going to cover more on UV maps when we get into texturing more in depth. We're going to start talking more about how to work with UV maps and get them set up to get a better application. I'm just doing very basic UV mapping with this tutorial currently. A lot of these armor pieces we're going to be re-importing and playing around with the textures and resetting up the UV map. Just a lot of stuff. There's the more you know, the better your armor is going to look over time. So far, this is what I got. Naturally, my feet, they kind of look small, but you know what? It's better to have small feet than have these massive clonkers like I was talking about before. Like when I made it, I made sure as I developed the the boots that I set them up smaller. Now, it's always easy enough, to import. If you have a really hard time making boots, and you can't make them that well, it's always easy enough to just say, what, forget about it, and use some vanilla boots. And take the vanilla boots, retexture them. As you can see, these aren't that fancy. They're just some really plain boots, and there's nothing fancy about them. But I'm just making this to show you guys how to do it. I hate making boots. I really do. Boots are like one of the parts of the armor that I'm not a fan of. I'm not very well-rounded when it comes to making boots, but these look good. They match the armor, and they'll work for the purposes of the tutorials. So here's my boots. I can also run around and make sure it looks okay whenever I'm running. Now, I always want to make sure when you're texturing your boots too that you make the bottom half of it black or a darker color, because you've got to think it's on the ground. And as you can see, there's some kind of lines whenever I go out. You can kind of see the UV map taking effect there, because I did just a really quick unwrap UVW on these boots, and I didn't really tweak the UV map that well, and that's why it kind of looks the way it does. But that can all be fixed, and we'll cover more on UV maps in future tutorials. Well, I'm going to be cutting this video short. I just wanted to show you my boots in game. The next time you see my boots when we're working on the gloves next, I'll probably have added some stuff to it, because I think that these are too simple. They need to be a little bit more fancy to match the armor. Maybe something leather. I'm thinking some kind of leather strap above them, that's part of them kind of strapping onto the leg. I'm thinking something like that would work out. I think they sit too low and don't match that well. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Well, that's pretty much all I got for boots. They're fairly simple to do, and there's a lot more you can do with working with boots. You're just gonna have to get in there and play around when making your boots. Like I said, I'm not a very big fan of developing them. I know how to do it, I just don't like doing it. I personally prefer using vanilla boots and then moving some verts on some vanilla boots and retexturing them. That's just my personal opinion on the matter. Anyways, I'll see you guys for the next tutorial, and we'll start developing gloves and talking about hands. There's some BS dismember differences between the actual skin, fingers and such, and the armor. There's two different BS dismembers with hands, which will be a little unique, working with two different BS dismembers, which is no big deal. It's just a different setting when you put the BS dismember skin modifier on it. And then, our next plan will be a helmet, and then after that a mask, and then we'll make this armor a craftable standalone armor that can be uploaded, as a mod to the Nexus, so people can try it and play with it and whatnot. And you can upload your mod when we get to that stage. Just want to mention while I got this time. When we do get to that stage, you're going to be able to upload your mod to the Nexus and then continue to follow the tutorials and just update your mod as you follow the tutorials. Because once we're done and we got it all set up and it's craftable standalone, we got a full armor set, we'll be updating our mods by with texturing. Because our next selection is going to be dealing with textures, and with textures comes a lot more on UV mapping. So you're going to learn a lot more about UV maps and how they work and how to mess with them. So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So I hope you guys continue to follow the tutorials and enjoy it. And again, I know this looks really plain. These boots, I could have done a much better job on them. I get them in game now, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, man, these are pathetic. I could have done way more with these boots than I did. I'll add more stuff to mine, like some leather straps. And again, whenever you skin it, if it gets too far away from the feet, you might have to bring in the body and skin it to the body. Whenever you do the skin wrap, they're boots. They can be skin wrapped to the body. I don't really recommend doing too far up on boots, so then you're going to probably get some clipping issues, but especially if you mix match your boots with something else, like a different vanilla armor. Somebody does that, they'll get clipping because the boots weren't made for that armor or for the vanilla armors in game. But again, if you get too far away from the feet, just skin wrap to the body. And BS dismember, if they're boots, no matter what, the BS dismember goes to Skyrim feet or Skyrim feet L/R, depending on your version of Nifscope. So like if I had, they're a pair of boots and they had like really high up, almost to the crotch, okay? And there's multiple pieces, even though those pieces are close to the character's butt or whatever, if they're in the boots NIF file, they need to be assigned to the boots. Okay, so when you equip boots, when you put the boots on, they're dismembered to the boot, to that section of the body. Even though they're being, dismembered by the body, they're still, if it's in the boots file, basically all I'm saying is, in the boots file, BS dismember to Skyrim feet. Alright, just keep it simple. Alright, well anyways, I'll see you guys next week, or well, whenever I get the next tutorial up. Peace.